What is up, guys? Liam here. Welcome back to another video. This is probably going to be a pretty janky video because I'm recording on a different device. And lighting isn't the best right now. I'm up in my room, not using my usual setup. But hey, that's alright. Now, I have a pretty cool gun to show you. It's probably my best pistol today. Because all my other pistols haven't been the best. But I think this one looks really good as I've been using a lot of new techniques for it. And I think it looks phenomenal. So I will show you my heavily modular Hk Usp. So here's the USP. Now one thing I'm going to do is, just because of how flimsy this can be, I am going to insert the magazine, but I will show you the magazine is pretty neat looking. Now, here is the USP. I used a lot of snot techniques, or stud snot on top, to get the sort of angle design of this. You can see where it thins out here and becomes sort of almost pyramid-like, but not quite. Still rounded a bit, and boxy yet rounded in the back, almost like a more round version of the Glock. As well as you can see the beautiful pistol sights, which are pretty accurate to the real gun. You can also see on the front here we have a barrel, which does have a hole in it, and it's actually rounded, which I don't do often for my guns. And you can see it actually does go in mostly. Now the slide can just come off, which was on my first prototype pistol a while before I started the channel. I think I made that model back in 2017, so a while before I started doing guns on this channel. I had a prototype model that had that issue. However, that was the first gun I ever made that had a slide feature, and it was a handgun. So, kind of a callback, I guess, to me and stuff you guys have never seen. But hey, whatever. Anyways, you can also see I use these grill pieces back here in light gray to make the slide have that feature to make it look like the grip that you rack the slide with. Also back here, you can see the hammer, which, when pushed forward and pulling the slide back, will cause the hammer to go backwards. And you can also see the fire selector, which has safety and fire. Now, this is a semi-auto pistol. It's not full auto, so, you know, not like a Glock 18, but hey, still pretty cool. You can also see the remnants of where the mag release is going to be until it kept falling apart, so it essentially was held in by tension all the time, because even if you tried to drop it out without the tension, it would just shatter the magazine release. So quite literally, it was just there for looks, and there was no point to it, and often I'd even forget it was there and it'd just break. You also have the trigger, which does actually reset now. My first trigger that resets using a simple rubber band system. Not the best looking, but hey, it actually resets, and I have a trigger there. Pretty cool, huh? You can also see the very nice design here for the grip, and it actually does look pretty well. It's pretty flush while still having texture to it. And I'd say this looks pretty cool. You can also see the bit there that would be attached to the inside barrel. And yeah. Now, the USP here, I've made it very modular, and I think you all know why I made it light gray. Because I play a lot of Half-Life 2, and there is a USP in that game. However, I've also, because a lot of people like it in dark gray, I have made a dark gray variant. Now, I only had enough of the grill pieces for one half of it, so it wouldn't be on the other side, so I ended up using these jumper plates, and I did end up using these light gray grill pieces to represent what's usually dark gray, just so it stands out. And I think it looks pretty cool. It's not the best thing in the world, but hey, still, it got dark gray on it. However, just because of how rigid it is compared to this one, which is more flexible, I prefer the dark gray one because, or not dark gray, the light gray one, just because it looks better to me, and also with the flexibility, it doesn't get caught as often or jammed and whatnot. But hey, I might as well show the Half-Life 2 configuration, which is the Hk Usp match design, which was a barrel block, or a barrel weight, that's added on the front of it. Now, I based mine off the real version, not the Half-Life 2 version. You can see here, these little studs are meant to represent the grooves. However, just because of the scale and Lego, I couldn't get them. But you can see underneath where the grooves would be running through. Also, just like the real one, but unlike in Half-Life 2, the top is open, which is, a feature that Valve didn't realize when they made Half-Life 2. I also wanted to get a sort of chiseled shape at the top and bottom, but unfortunately with the parts I had available, I could not, and also if I did that, it would become incredibly flimsy. But I still think it looks good. And in fact, this is the setup I run when I play the Payday games, or just Payday 2 for now, because that's the only one I have. However, I also have a suppressor on it. Now, I do not have a suppressor for this. However, I do have a barrel extension, which is nice for when you want to see the barrel sticking out at the end of the gun. So, with the barrel extension, you can see that. And if we take off the match suppressor, which literally just pops off like so, you can see it is pretty long, but the connection isn't too good looking. Now, that's pretty cool and all, but we'll have to put on the match suppressor, or not suppressor, but barrel block for this next bit. So, a new game came out last year that I'm sure a lot of you guys who love Half-Life have heard of, called Entropy Zero 2. Now, when that came out, I played through Entropy Zero 1, did not like it, and then I played through Entropy Zero 2, and absolutely loved it. And so I thought to myself, hey, I really like the Gauss pistol from that game. The Gauss pistol is a pretty good weapon. Now, for those of you guys who haven't played it, it is a modified version of the Half-Life 2 USP, and I figured I would make that here. So, one of the first things you have to do with this is add these pieces onto the side of the match suppressor. Then you have to take, or not suppressor, I keep saying suppressor, it is a barrel block, not a suppressor. Sorry, I do not know what I'm talking about. Never listen to a word I say. Except when I'm talking. Then you listen to a word I'm saying. But here we go. Here we have the Entropy Zero 2 design for the USP, aka the Gauss pistol, which is pretty cool. I think it looks neat. This is probably the first Lego model of it, unless there's like some 5-year-old who first played it who made one, but I'd love to see that if somebody can find that for me. But yeah, I think it looks pretty cool. The Gauss pistol is honestly one of my favorite guns to use in that game just because of it having infinite ammo and still being pretty powerful. I use it to take out zombies a lot of the time, although that was a nightmare because my first playthrough I played through on hard, and Entropy Zero games on hard mode is nightmarish. But still, I think it looks phenomenal. So yeah, hope you guys liked this video of the USP. Once again, I will show it without any attachments and have all the attachment pieces off to the side, because I have worked very hard on this. Not to mention, my mental health has just been a train wreck as of late. I figured I'd still get a video out for you guys. So as you can see here, we have the match barrel block, barrel extension, the bits for the Entropy Zero 2 design, the magazine, the light gray slide, the dark gray slide, and the main body of the gun itself. And that right there is everything that I have built for this USP. I've built nothing more. Yeah, I guess the only other things you could say I built, although I didn't build it for this, is this gun stand I have here, but that's for larger weapons, and I did show that in my SPAS 12 video. Even though I have learned a lot about the SPAS 12 since then, realized it's kind of inaccurate, so maybe I'll have to build one again. I mean, it is only my favorite gun after all. But yeah, that is my USP design. I think it's good. Hopefully you guys do too. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Sorry for the lack of uploads. Just been busy with life and whatnot. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video where I do pretty much whatever. Peace.